you go to the club?
They know me in there. Many of my ones are still circulating. Many of my 10s, many of my 20s, many of my 100s are still circulating.
Okay.
In ATL.
How you know about the sex shop, friend?
How you mean how I know?
You indulge in the toys and stuff with that. I mean, your music states so.
Do you hear my music?
Yeah.
So imagine the baddest of all baddies at the end of, not even the end of the night, the main dance night, and it's Say Yes.
All you gotta do is say yes.
And it's just cheeks and seduction.
Word with me, yeah, you know BT. Know how it go, shout out OCT. No real cap, call out what we see. Whole game ready, baller blitz on 3. No, you can't stand on your own 2 feet. I already know you can't ball with me. Cause I brought up with the squad and me. They get a letter, they calling me. BallerAlert. 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 BallerAlert.
Reporting live from ATL. We are the BallerAlert show, and we got the one, the only, Marsha Ambrosius.
Yes.
Did she say it right?
I like the way you said it.
Ambrosius?
You said Ambrosius?
Yeah.
That's cute too.
Sorry.
Don't apologize.
Okay.
Ambrosius.
Ambrosius.
Yeah, to say the S, Ambrosius.
Okay.
Ambrosius.
So now you want to turn your
Ambrosius.
accent on. See, what y'all don't know, what y'all at home watching
The
is
lies.
when I walked in before the cameras got started, she was talking in a normal accent.
What's normal?
Okay, not normal accent. She was talking in an English accent, American accent, Philly accent to be direct.
There it is.
And then she started talking in
What? English?
what?
A British.
British.
A British accent.
Yeah.
Well, no, it can come on and off. It just depends.
How'd you learn
It's
that?
being in America for 24 years. That's what happens.
It's kinda
and
like
a lot
actors.
of TV. Yeah.
I
And
only thought
quote
actors
so
could do
many,
that.
No, you quote so many movies that you just make stuff up. And I don't know, I've adopted the accent.
What's some of your favorite movies?
Oh, there's too many. We can't go into all of that. It's random stuff from E.T. to Friday. Like,
Okay.
it's
Friday?
That is random.
It's the spectrum. Like, think about that. It's random. Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It is. I just watch too much TV.
Man, speaking of accents, let's go back to Liverpool, UK. That's where you're from, right?
Born and raised, so if I have my Liverpool accent, you're not really going to understand the word I'm saying.
Is it word?
let's
Is
hear
it
it.
more?
My dude was like, I don't know what accent this is, but it's like you're ordering from a Chinese restaurant. That's exactly what he said it sounded like. Liverpool, if I talk in my Liverpool accent, I'm talking really, really fast. You're not going to understand the word I'm saying. And I just said the same thing in my Liverpool accent if I'm talking like this all the time. But if I call my mum and I say, Mum, I want to talk to you now and put you on the phone, I'm going to talk to my mum on the phone just like this right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll probably take me I'll probably have a brain delay like, oh, okay, that's what she said. Like,
Yeah, so I just said I was going to call my mum and I would speak in that accent. And if I didn't, she wouldn't understand the word I'm saying.
Because it's so fast, you know, and you're so...
Yeah, and my uncle, he's worse. Uncle George, no one understands that guy. I mean, we do, because it's Uncle George, but he talks really, really quickly.
do you mask your accent when you're recording?
It's not a mask. It's like an immediate go-to. It's the inflections you use in your voice. So I think everyone universally has a singing dialect that they use to sing in. And it's always with that. Yeah.
So what was the music like in your house growing up?
Oh, it's everything. For me, my main go-tos were Prince, Michael, Stevie, no order. But my dad, very into Funkadelic, George Clinton, Stanley Clarke, George Duke, Steely Dan.
Wow.
But then it's also Queen, Talking Heads, Duran, all that pop stuff. So I had an eclectic amount of music to listen to. So it was pretty much everything.
Were you a daddy's girl growing up?
Both.
Both
My
parents?
dad was a bass player, lead guitarist, and singer in a funk band in the 70s. Afro Out to Here, Chef's Out, Taco Beat. Cool, just hilarious. My mum had all the vinyl that you could ever want. Any DJ would like cry going into the crib, like, let me just dig through the crates and find stuff they'd never seen. And, you know, the Cuzzos growing up, she would sing and do harmonies. So I kind of had all the things in the household for the makings of a musician without wanting to be a musician, without being pressured into being a musician.
So nobody told you like you should do music.
No, it was do what you want, but don't touch that. But it was Mr. Miyagi, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Like, hey, get off my keys, get off that piano, get off that guitar, get off them drums. Like, okay. And I'm just playing, trying to sneak play, but then getting better and better each time. But my dad was also a hooper, a basketball player. And then he went into coaching, and basketball was my passion. So then I'm just playing hoop dreams.
Oh, you was playing ball?
What? I played for England. I was playing for Brixton Top Cats, 14s, and the women's team, and still playing for England. Then I tore ligaments. Damn.
That's how it happened.
Killed the hoop dreams.
Rough. And I was ready too. I was ready to come to high school over here, and eventually wanted to come to Georgia Tech. I had all of these things on the table.
Are you
Tech
serious?
specifically?
Georgia Tech
Why?
specifically, because the high school coach that I was going to see in New Jersey, that was the connect. Any players that were going through that school were getting recruited to Georgia Tech, or somehow getting the opportunity to, you know, audition or play, if you will, to get the opportunity to come. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go that route. And that summer I got hurt. So I had to figure it out. And then I just started writing my thoughts and my feelings and my pain and agony. And I wrote this song called If I Was a Bird. And that was about basketball.
Wow.
About it breaking my heart and not being able to fly like Michael Jordan from the foul line like I wanted to.
So you
I
had
had no hups, none.
So you had a brother as well, right?
Yeah, I have a brother, a younger brother.
Did he play sports and all?
Yeah,
that?
we were both balling. So me and my brother kind of had this, we're 3 years apart, but kind of like twins. So if I was balling, he was balling. If I was playing music, he's playing music. So when I told my dad I wanted to quit hooping, he broke down and cried like it was over, like the world ended. I'm like, Dad, I just don't want to take it for serious. Like, what? I said, no, I'm going to take music seriously. So him being a musician and him seeing the ups and downs of a very hostile industry, and especially what it can be for women, I knew it was coming from a place of love, but at the same time, a place from the experiences that only he had. But I'm like, Dad, if I do this, I'm going to do it for real. So imagine me, I get a free ticket to come to ATL in the year 2000 to do Apache Cafe. I'm like, all right, bet, I'm coming. So I do Apache Cafe in Atlanta.
What's Apache Cafe?
It was like a poetry spot, open mic jam session in the early 2000s. So 2000, April, I'm doing that. And I'm like, yo, Dad, it looks like it's going to work out. Then I get to Philly, do the same thing. Dad, I feel like this is really going to work out. Yo, Dad, Michael Jackson just heard my song, Butterflies, on the demo. Yo, Dad, I'm in the studio with... It's never enough.
What was his response?
He don't believe nothing. But like I said... I'm not a parent at that time, so I'm not understanding his responses are just all protection. I'm just like, you hater. Like, not hater, but like, you're just going to shut down my dreams. But it was just to protect me. Like, maybe Michael Jackson takes this song, maybe he doesn't. And he did, and the rest is history. And I'm still like, yo, Dad, see, I told you music was going to work out. Like,
Did his
look, I
mind
have a
change?
Grammy now.
Did his mind change when he saw you on TV?
Not a mind change. It's like, oh, she was for serious. Even
Wait,
to this
wait.
day, I believe you
your
now.
dad was
like,
just like, oh yeah, I believe
you never
you.
met my dad, so yeah. No. My dad is as proud as you can be. As a father for a daughter, like he really is. But back then, it was just I'm uphill climbing to try and match.
Were
what
you
he
struggling
saw.
though? Was you struggling?
No.
Oh,
Not
you
even
was
a
just
little
like
bit.
moving.
I'm out. I'm gone. I left home. I told my mother I was going for 2 weeks and just didn't. It's 24 years later. I ain't
Wow.
yeah.
You have been blessed, man. And we're so happy to have you right here on the BallerAlert Show. We got Marsha Ambrosius.
Did she get it right?
Yes, it's awesome.
I'm getting
I love
better.
it.
She getting better.
It's great. No,
We'll
it's
be
great.
right
It's
back.
It's right.
We'll be right back with more.
BallerAlert!
So can we get the background music for Coming to America? Because that's one of my favorite movies too.
What?
Remember?
Yo, I feel like you moved to America and just watched. Yo, what is the American movies that we have to watch?
No, I grew up with all of that. Like my grandfathers are both American, so my cousins were over here and sending me, different worlds.
So you already knew what it was going to be over
Yeah,
here.
like I just never had the USA experience that I wanted to have.
BallerAlert!
Back with more of the BallerAlert show. We got Marsha Ambrosius.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Ambrosius.
Ambrosius, you gotta
And
say
you're
it right.
gorgeous, girl. You
Thank
got
you,
the
darling.
hat, the
Hey, I
it's
done
just-
asked off camera for the hat plug. She ain't give it to me yet, guys.
Listen.
What?
I'm just
Look,
messing with you.
don't
I know,
play
I
me.
know. You got
Okay,
it.
we talked about
I was about to say, you
we
holding the hat
talked
plug?
about this off air.
Yes,
Stop
yes.
bringing this up. I got you.
Now we were talking about the experience of America. Did you get the full Atlanta experience? Because you were
I
here
did.
for how long?
I was here initially just a couple of weeks, went to Philly, came back, but I was always going back and forth between
Did you
the
go
two.
to the club?
Listen,
Uh-oh.
they know me in there. Many of my ones are still circulating. Many of my 10s, many of my 20s, many of my hundreds are still circulating.
Okay,
these clubs
okay.
In ATL.
You had some. So you saying you
I
had some
a
fun?
time.
Wow.
A time was
A
had.
time.
At the headlight
was
twerking
had.
with at the red light twerking at the headlight. I mean, your music states so.
Do you hear my music?
Yeah. You be
So
real
imagine
spicy.
the baddest of all baddies at the end of, not even the end of the night, the main dance night. And it's Say Yes. And it's just cheeks and seduction.
Whoa.
Now, did you meet
And
your
chicken
husband?
wings.
And the best chicken. Why do strip clubs have the best food?
I
It's
don't
the
know.
What is
ambiance.
it? Like
It's the
someone-
ambiance, man.
But
Somebody.
they go the extra mile
Nah,
for
I don't know what
flavors.
they-
Like the fries be good. Like what in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
seasoning? Not everyone just gives a basic fry. There's no basic
Nah,
fries in
you're
the
right.
strip club.
You're
In
right.
Atlanta
Extra
strip club.
Yeah, in Atlanta
it's
strip
like-
club.
Atlanta and Houston have good food
I think
on the strip club.
ATL may have done the very first lemon pepper ketchup.
Hey,
I was
man.
like, why is your ketchup seasoned?
They like everybody like lemon pepper. Put lemon.
Put lemon pepper in
I had lemon
everything.
pepper on a
Like,
baked
what's
potato one time.
happening?
Yeah.
I love
So,
lemon pepper
yes,
the flavor.
What about
It's-
the first time you tasted Waffle House?
First, I was wasted. I had to have been drunk to be in there late. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Remember where JD's old spot was, and you go further down. There's like a sex toy shop. It's the one that's in between the two. That's
Okay,
all
how
I
you
know.
know
I know
about
Oh,
by
you talking about the
landmarks.
Waffle House on the? Wait.
Cafe de. See the
Cadive.
landmarks.
How you know about the sex shop, friend?
What do you mean how I know?
You indulge in the toys and stuff with that.
Because you used to pass it if you go under that bridge.
Ah,
It's
just
like
asking,
a bright
okay.
light.
Yeah, it was big.
And
Yeah, you
then,
can't miss it.
Yeah, being single during
It's
those
right
times.
there. I walked in there a couple times. Yeah, I walked in
You
there.
walked in. You walked in the sex
in?
store.
Yeah, I definitely walked in there one time.
Well, I made purchases. I was
But
here
you get,
and I
you
was
know, you get your
single,
basic stuff in there
needed
too.
to
You know
be.
what I'm saying? Like the basic stuff you need.
What's basic for you? I'm elaborate. Like I'm trying to. What you mean? Like a magazine? Like there's like a toy and then what's basic?
Like you
What's
know,
the
I mean,
essential
I got
oil?
skin. I got skin things, so I had to get something that was sensitive to my skin. So I had to, you know, get some condoms that were. For my
Thank you for all of that
lamb.
information. Clarity.
You know,
Clarity.
and it was only there. You know,
And we
what
were
I'm saying?
talking about Waffle House. How about that?
Yeah, we
How
were.
we get from Waffle House to
My
sex?
bad.
We need
I'm
to
so
figure
sorry.
out
I'm so
how we
sorry.
got there.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
how I knew where Waffle House was. So I used to work at Doppler Studios. So I'll be in
On
the
top of
A
Doppler.
room
Yeah.
writing some songs, and then we would leave. Oh, there's the sex toy shop. That means Waffle House is right there on the
It's
right hand
right there.
side.
It's
So
right
we will hop out, get in Waffle House, and gloriousness, the dang cheese eggs, greasy. And if no one's fighting, it didn't really happen.
Did you find inspiration when you were in Atlanta a lot for writing your music?
I did. It was very, I want to say the Southern hospitality is unmatched. So you felt at home and comfortable. So even in that approach, I had foundation here. I had friends that really became family. So really made me feel comfortable. So I could really stretch my pen and say things that I wouldn't ordinarily say or things that I'd want to experience. So you leave Magic City, you're going to write
You're gonna be
a
inspired
different
somewhere.
type song. And I was here during a different time. Like this is when, Atlanta's always been here and trendsetted as what the world would know Atlanta to be. So I'm there when Sierra's in the studio. I'm there when, Andre and Vidal from Philly are giving her, oh, and I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? ATL's doing something. And Ludacris happens. And it's all these things that are happening, But the foundation of it all is when I get to Apache Cafe and it's Outkast.
So did you start it out songwriting?
Yeah.
Were you like writing for other people in the studio?
Yeah, and like that's always been my passion. I've always wanted to be behind the scenes, getting my Quincy Jones on, and then I'd just been offered deals and things to do outside of that. So it just kind of happened as far as the whole solo thing.
Do you remember getting your first deal?
I do. I remember seeing the thick ass paper. Like, do I have to read all that shit? And I should have. No, I did. No, I absolutely did. No,
Okay.
absolutely.
This
did.
is for your group Forestry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So initially with that deal in 2000, that was like big. So that was my first US deal. I had a deal in the UK, and that was strictly for a song that I wanted to license. That was a single that my manager at the time, I was 16, 17, and it got pushed to radio, and then it ended up being number 2. No deal, no nothing. It was like Drew Hill overseas. Yeah, it was like Drew Hill. What's somebody Sleeping in My Bed remix? JD's.
Yeah.
JD's Sleeping
was
in
a
My Bed
fire
remix. And my song were 1 and 2 on the charts.
Wow.
On the urban stations over there. So I was offered a deal because of that, and just didn't see the rest of it through because young black R&B artists in the UK didn't really exist like that. So it was like Craig David, and then
Damn, Craig
On my
David.
way to see my friends.
exactly. So
Craig
at
David
the
was
time,
so
there wasn't a Missy yet. There wasn't a Lauryn Hill to be compared to. It was just, and I was like, you don't get it. You don't get me. I'm just gonna go back to my shell and just write, produce.
Were he trying to make you change your style up?
No, not even change my style because no one's doing that. I don't know if anyone could make me do that. You either want to do that, no. That's why it didn't work out. It works out when it's supposed to work out, and it worked out because of how I wanted things to sound. So by the time I've reached out to a high school friend like, yo, put some poetry to my music, it's because I'm in the studio writing, producing, and I had a record called Fantasize, and that's how Flowetry happens. So it's like things that I want to do have happened. The Dr. Dre thing in Casablanca right now are because I've laid all of this foundation and groundwork for something that I wanted to do. And if it was time that I had to wait to do it, then that's time.
Well, it's time for a break, man. We'll be right back with more Marsha Ambrosius right here on Revolt.
Ambrosius.
So after commercial break, what else do you have for me? Bring it.
We gonna
Okay,
go.
bring it. Let's
Bring
bring
it.
it,
Like,
baby.
mild is mid.
Oh, no, you didn't.
What?
Well, you know, Club Shay Shay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, what happened?
I was asked to join Flowetry after Natalie. I was told that Natalie left. And then we prepared to go on tour. And they did not tell the fans that Natalie would not be joining Marsha on the tour.
Okay.
Marsha never made it any easier.
Why?
Natalie is burning me up. She's like, Amanda Seals is not real. She's fake. This is all fake. Fake, fake, fake. So now Marsha calls me, like, did you listen? I said, yeah. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. I said, oh, okay. And this is a trend of me not being protected.
That's really sad and unfortunate that she felt that way, you know. And as far as a response, it really was 17 years ago. And what you can't do is, I can't change how an existing fan base feel about a situation.
The
you know?
original members.
Yeah. So it really, she could have really been anybody. And it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have worked. Everyone was like, yeah, Marsh, who's this? So she happened to be catching that flag. As far as being protected, I could only do what I could have done at that time, where I was at in my life. And however her experience of it was what it was for her, I know what happened for me. And I don't have to go into that. We're 17 years later. I've done so much healing time between then and now. And, you know, 17 years ago, that's Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows, and it's a long time ago, you know. 17 years ago, it's 07.
So she need to let it go.
No, it's not letting go. I've taken my L's. Like the L's that I've taken, I've just been like, oh, that didn't work. I moved on and moved past that, you know, and I'm all about moving on and moving past things. It didn't work out. There's not a record label that could have fixed that. There's not a me that could have, an existing member of a group that could fix that. There's not a management that can go, this is not working. And it just didn't work. And we moved on. And I've had nothing but positive interactions with her after the fact. So then there's that, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she did say that. I think you've seen her after that or before.
In 2013, we did what was it? A hair thing in New York, and it was all hugs and smiles, and we kikied it up.
Oh,
and,
so she did hug you.
And yeah, like she texted me, like we go back and forth, like up and through the years, like after the reunion.
I actually saw her at Usher's show recently, and she went to hug me, and I was like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, then she saw me again, and it was like none of those things happened. So I can't be accountable for who she is now. I didn't deal with Amanda Seales. I dealt with Amanda Diva in 2007. So I can't get mad at the 2007 version of her, nor the 2007 version of myself. So like I said, all the healing time in between, and with 17 years later, I'm a wife and a mother, and I'm in a different place, and there'll be no coming at another Black woman and her healing and her time.
Who picked her for the role?
Label or management. I didn't know who she was. And it really could have been anybody. So we had time to rehearse and, you know, do all the things, but then you put it into play and it works or it doesn't work, and it didn't work.
So what's some advice that you would give her just based on that interview?
I'm trying to figure out there's nothing I can give. Like, what's the advice?
I feel like sometimes people say things like that because they want closure. They feel like they didn't have closure.
I feel like whatever that meant for her, clearly she's gone on to do other things, as have I. And I'm not sure what else what's there to say? What do you want to do? Be a group? You want to put out music? I don't know what the end game is for. Like, what is the resolve? What changes that?
Why did the group break up in the first place?
With me and Nat? Yeah. Oh, that's an even longer story. Some things just don't work out. And time is time. And we really made music when we made music. And the fact that we can still reconnect over the years and people can still press play on the Floetic album and still call it a classic. We did our job.
You did.
We don't have to keep doing our job. Like, people want to stay flipping burgers or, you know, at Waffle House pressing the waffle forever. That was like my Waffle House years.
I do
classic.
think the question happens to come up because you guys have this fan base that never leaves you guys wherever you go.
Y'all got an R&B classic. Say yes.
Right.
Classic.
And that is that I can't do anything about that. Time tells that. I think someone was asking me, you know, what makes a timeless classic? Time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what is going to be played 24 years from now, where people get to be on a podcast and talk about things that they've done over years that people really care about. Like, you cared about this thing so much that 17 years later we're still on it. Like, dang, I was like that.
How did you meet Natalie? Or did y'all grow up together?
We grew up together.
Okay.
Yeah, we
did y'all
played
play
ball.
basketball?
Yeah, we played ball. She was playing for another club. But we would see each other at tournaments. We went to the same performing arts school together. So we'd known each other in South London.
Did you was it your idea to start the group, or?
It wasn't even a group thing. I had a song that I wrote called Fantasize. And I was like, yo, Nat, put some poetry to my music. And she did. And the song was fire. And I was like, oh, we performed it. Rest is history.
So both of you were writers?
She wrote her poetry, I wrote music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for clarity, because I know some people, especially like the younger millennials or Gen Z or even the beta people, they don't really know who Floetry was or is. So I just kind of want to break it down for them.
TikTok changed that. No, I'm not joking. But it's like...
TikTok will bring a song back, though.
Yeah, it just brings these things back. Or samples, like her sampled it. And there's like all of these nods to like Drake sampling Say Yes. I mean, Getting Late. So it's just like all of these nods to, like I said, something I did 24 years ago. Okay. So, yeah, it's a lot of things. And here we are 24 years later, and I'm still passionate about just creating.
Where does that come from?
The air, like the hum of the AC. Like, I'm gonna write a song to anything, to this clicking. Like, this has a tone to it, like rhythm, just anything, I'm going to think of a song or a concept for it. Like, it's just how my mind works.
I really appreciate the fact that you never stop and that you
I
still
agree.
find time to create. That's very
Have to.
inspiring.
Yeah,
Appreciate
24 years
that.
is a long time
That's a long
to
run.
be in this industry.
It is. Longer than that. Like, that's just the visible years.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That's just I'm signed now and my name is kind of floating around. But before that, it's all the grind. It's the sleepless nights you don't see. It's the downtime. It's the L's. It's that record wasn't that well received publicly, but I'm on tour for those 5 years. Like, there's so much to this thing that people don't see.
Yeah.
That you think you want it. You have to really want to do this. Like, really want to do it. It's even sitting here and talking to you guys. You actually want to do it.
And one thing we really don't want to do is go to commercial, but we kind of have to. So
Bars.
we'll be
good at
right
that.
back with more Marsha Ambrosius.
You good at that. Hey, this is Marsha Ambrosius. You're watching the BallerAlert show on Revolt.
Back with more of the BallerAlert show. We got Marsha Ambrosius in the
Hey,
building.
hey.
Lovely.
Yes.
24 years in the game.
But we were talking about, the downtime and the pandemic happened. And then you got with Dr. Dre. And you guys created a masterpiece that is about to finally hit us. Oh, my God. What was can you break down that process from 2021, I believe, when you guys started it?
Yep.
Until June 28th, when it's finally about to drop.
In 2024.
2024.
So let's go. The end of that year, well, the top of 2021 is when I finally get to LA. Dre had that brain aneurysm. But prior to that, I was already in communication with Dre. So we're going back and forth, shooting ideas. It happens 2 days after his aneurysm. He's like, yo, I'm getting back to work. I'm going to fly you out here. And, let's just get to creating. So we end up doing GTA, the video game he was doing the music for. So I was in the studio really doing that from February, March.
What, Grand Theft Auto?
Grand Theft Auto. So
The new
Dre
one?
had the San Andreas. Yeah, it had the San Andreas episode where it's him in the car and you had to steal the car so you would get the demos of the songs. So it was like 6 songs for that demo. So it's like me, Eminem, Rick Ross. Who else is on there? Snoop's on there. Anderson is on there. And we did all of these songs for the video game. Video game drops. And April, Dre was like, I just want to keep you inspired. Because I told Dre, I'm cool on this artist stuff. I'm cool in this industry. I love what we're doing in the studio and working with your team. I just want to write and produce, and that's it. I'm over this being an artist, I'm hustle and bustle. I have to go on tour, like all the things. Me saying I want to sit and talk to you, I'm over talking about anything. Like, I'm done. Like, I feel like, I'm not in a bad way. I just felt like,
You've done what you set out to do, and you're okay with
what
it.
else
And
is
they're
there
your
to
they're your feelings
do?
too. So they're your true feelings. So it's
I'm
kind of
like, I clocked the video game. I'm at the final level. Like, where do I go from here? Like, there's nothing else with my bucket list that I could check off that's gonna satisfy me. So Dre wasn't having that though. Dre said, "Yeah, nah. Just want to do something to keep you inspired."
Okay.
So we recorded one song that was intentional. Like, with the first time we'd ever actually created with intention to go, we're doing something. So him and I producing this piece of music together. And it was, if I must say so myself, so incredible. Like, outside of it being me, it was like it wasn't even coming from me. God said, oh, you're going to do this thing? It's happened? Okay, watch this. And it was like having an out-of-body experience and watching this thing happen. So we record one song and it was like, we know what this is. Now we have to back this up. Let's do another one. See where it goes. So we do 2 and we do 3. This is in the space of 2 weeks. We do 4, we do 5, we do 6, we do 7, 8, and 9. We kind of sit there like, we 2 records away from this being the body of work, not a body of work, the body of work.
The greatest.
The greatest. So by May, we already named the album. by June, it was, we need a 27-piece orchestra. Let's set up the time when we can get in and do that. So we're getting the conductor in, the string arranger, did that, and it was just so meticulously done. I didn't think it was ever going to see the light of day because of what we did. I'll explain. If you think about how you sample in hip hop, and you can just take a piece of, you break it up when it comes to beats, we're talking about breaking up not only the beat, but the melody, but the instrumentation of just a horn piece from Duke Ellington, and just the keys from Smooth Criminal, just the strings from George Benson, and putting it on one song. How do you even begin to clear that? So by the time we've recorded it, it's done. I'm like, we never gonna get the permission.
It's never gonna get cleared.
Never get permission to do, like, saying it out loud. There's no way. But there is. There's a Dr. Dre and his budget, and he will go to whatever lengths to make sure that we could. But it was also gonna take time. It's, if we use something from Michael Jackson, now we have to go through to the estate. If we use something from certain things, but there are so many different avenues that we have to take to get it done. So it took 2022 to clear. A year.
Whole year to get everything cleared.
Because there's 11 songs on the record, but within each song,
There's a sample.
Clearances for everything.
the credits,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been a buy the album, look at the credits and see who did what.
Don't look at those credits.
No. Look at these credits just to understand the work put in. And I feel like the effort put into this is one for the record books. I don't think anyone on planet Earth has credits that even look remotely close to what these things look like.
I think just to get Dr. Dre to do anything.
Yeah.
Because how long we been waiting on the Detox album?
The what album? It doesn't exist.
We ain't gonna never
I
get
think
it.
it's available,
The
but only he's listening
No.
to it.
But just for you to pop out with not only a Marsha Ambrosius record, but with Dr. Dre
Executively produced.
together
That's
as
what
a
I'm saying.
team.
Right.
As
so
a
it's,
team.
It's one of one. So it was truly an even playing field to a degree, but it's me trusting his word as Dr. Dre, but him absolutely trusting me and my pen and what I could contribute to what it is that we were doing.
Subliminally giving you your flowers too, though, because
For sure.
that's a
And I have to receive that.
Yeah.
Because he's, like you said, he's not doing that with anyone.
Anybody.
we've interviewed all the greats, right, including yourself. And I always try to make sure I ask this question. I'm gonna ask you this one because your list of accolades is very long, it's superior. Do you take the time to indulge in the moment of what's actually happening to you?
Not enough.
Because I know sometimes you guys work, and we all do it the same thing. We've done all these big interviews, and I even had to sit back a couple of days and was like, wow, we literally just kicked ass all last year. For you as an artist and all these amazing things that you've done, do you take the moment? Because I know sometimes you got to unplug and be mom. You got to unplug and be wife.
Exactly that. It's the family part of it. It's really taking time to just, when you unplug, like I don't sit here and become Marsh. Like the cameras will be off and you're still going to get me, maybe with a Philly accent. But other than that, it's still me. So the reality is my phone ringing or me getting a text or it's, my daughter like, Mommy, can you call me? Like I need, then it's snap. That's my priority. Mm-hmm. Or it's, hey, we have to go back to this station and do such and such. And they're the same person. There's no switch off. There's no disconnect. I can just micromanage the type of person and type of human I have to be each and every time and just show up, whoever that is, But no, I don't take enough time to go, wow. I think I'm only wowing over things I did in 2007. Wow at 2005. Wow at 2011. Like, I'm forgetting stuff. People are, it's the internet. Like, I forgot I even did that. Had to remind myself, like, yo.
She got a Google her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's wild. I've done some crazy things.
Speaking of accolades, you work with Michael Jackson. Can you tell us
you were in there
what
with
that
him.
was like?
The king.
Michael Jackson.
The king.
Like, y'all don't even know what his cologne was like.
He smells so good. That thing was custom, I'm sure. Like, Mike, just come a little bit closer. Like, he would wear this burgundy shirt and this black, I think it was like I can't remember what brand it was, this black leather jacket. I'm like, you so fly, dude.
And not only did you write for Mike, you wrote a classic like Butterflies.
Thank you.
That is a classic.
Yeah, Bud.
See, he didn't even know. He's early 30s.
This youngin' over here. Young Bud. Yeah.
I know the song. I ain't that young. But
That's
you wrote
me.
Butterflies,
I
Michael
did.
Jackson?
I did.
That was their song. That was her song first, and then Mike heard it.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Talk to
Let
us.
us know.
That was my demo of
Demo.
any song. It wasn't even I didn't know who I was writing that for as an artist. I wrote it about a boy that worked at McDonald's in Camberwell when I was like 16, but get to Philly, it's on a demo. So yeah, it wasn't even for Mike. He just heard it as a part of a demo.
I was like, I gotta have
That's
it.
I need that one right there. And I was like, yeah,
That's crazy.
And
Yeah,
then not
exactly.
only did you write it and he sang it, but you had to produce him. You had to tell him how the song went.
Yeah, so
What?
you were there with him,
No, I'm like blown
creating
away.
the song with him.
Yeah.
And not too many people can say that.
So you
How
telling
was it?
Michael Jackson, sing it like this, sing in this key.
Like, see where she's standing with this camera
Yeah.
right
Well,
now?
the
So that's Mike. So this
the
is
camera
me
can't see
behind.
it.
Yeah, okay. So there's a person behind the glass. I'm behind the soundboard. I'm like, all right, Mike, one more time. So I'm clicking buttons like, okay, cool. And the first thing he said was, butterflies. Like, he whispered it. And I just remember me and Dre just looked up like, Andre Harris, who produced it with me, started crying, dog.
Wow.
I was crying. Like, had to get it out. Like, I went back. It's like, and then shook it off, told him what to do. One more time, Mike. All right, what's your breathing, Mike? All right, little pitchy. All right, one more time.
You telling Michael Jackson this?
Yeah.
I was 23 years old.
23 years
23,
old
At
telling
the start of
Michael.
your
Yeah.
career,
Yeah.
working with Michael Jackson.
So there's really nothing that could
That's
intimidate nor make me feel some type of way about
That's gonna be
anything.
my next question. I
When
was-
in 2001, that was my life.
Yeah.
Like,
You gonna be like, y'all ain't work with Mike?
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. If that was me, you really can't tell me nothing.
You couldn't tell me nothing
I'm be
either.
like, bro, I was telling Michael Jackson what to do in the studio. Don't talk to me, bro.
but you
I
got to
need 3
stay
ice cubes
humble.
in my water.
You have to stay humble, though.
3 ice cubes in my water, bro.
So yeah, do the math. Over
3 ice
the
cubes.
course of years, anyone testing my ability to be able to write or produce or feel intimidated or I'd done that so early. There was nothing that was gonna phase me in this thing. Oh, I don't like your music. Cool. It ain't for you.
You should have said, do you like Michael Jackson?
Alright.
You like
No,
Dr. Dre? You
that's-
like
anyone
You
that
ain't
has
gotta say nothing.
anything to say, it's like, okay, because somewhere in your library of music or whatever you did, I touched something that you're banging with right now. All while you're saying
No,
that you
these-
don't
these-
bang
these
with
are-
it.
You better pop it.
These are facts, though.
Let's talk about Casablanca.
Yes.
Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Why Casablanca and not
Initially, I called it Casablanca, and that's because of how it felt. So you have to understand, I'm at Dr. Dre's crib in LA, and I'm going back and forth in these hills, Beverly Hills. It's palm trees, it's red carpets. It's like the treatment was laid out, and I was like, what else was I gonna write? This is giving vintage Hollywood. This is giving diamonds, pearls, just furs, like ridiculous cars and private jets. So I was like, this is what the music sounds like. So I was spoiled in that regard. Like, I feel like Casablanca felt like a place. So Casablanca, the movie, I'm saying, yo, Dre, it feels like this. And he was like, nah, Casablanca, make it more gangster. Like Blanco, Griselda. I was like, this is why you're Dr. Dre. And so we combined forces. I'm giving you the vintage Hollywood feel with Dre's gangster, and we met
Casablanca.
evenly. It's Casablanca.
One Night Stand is out right now.
yes.
You talking real spicy on there, hanging off the
Little
chandelier.
bit, yeah.
You might fall and break your wrist. What you talking about, friend? You talking about your husband? Over that hole in your is this hubby right here,
What's
right?
up, dog? Yeah. It's before I met you, babe. I pulled from. He know. I pulled from many experiences.
Okay.
and had to.
That's dope that he supports that and he's cool that he ain't tripping on that.
Because where else is the inspiration going to come from? We've known each other for 10 years, married for almost 7 of those, have a 7-year-old.
Amazing.
Like,
Where'd y'all meet?
on tour.
Oh.
Okay.
Is he a musician? too?
Wait. How did he approach you or you approached him?
Oh, I approached him.
Oh.
But we met by ways of management that we were doing a tour, and my road manager invited him to work as a part of the tour, and I'm like,
And now he's your manager.
who is that?
What was he doing? Was he
Sitting there in a red hat. That's what he was doing. I don't care what he was doing.
Was he nervous
Was he
when you walked up to him and said,
security,
"What's
No,
happening?"
he didn't care. He didn't care who I was. It wasn't even about that.
Did he know you were Marsha?
No.
He had to know.
This is what you have to understand. This is what
He
you
said
have to understand.
no clue.
He may have known my songs.
Got
He
it.
doesn't know me.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying?
Understood. Yeah.
So, and even
Yeah.
if it was that, he's getting the word like, yo, there's a paycheck in it. You want me to be on the road? Oh, as a tour? Like, oh, yeah, I'm on. It had nothing to do with who it was, why it was, who I
Understood.
am. So when we met, we're meeting on an even playing field. Because if you're on tour with me, my musicians will tell you, it's family. So we're working. But he was fine. So we're working and I'm distracted like, who's this? So I'm trying to get to know him like, yo, so... And I'm also mad at Mitch, like, why you ain't introduced me before? Like, he's just been around this whole time and I only been like, how we never come across it? So
Was he a bodyguard or like was he
all
distracted?
things.
Okay.
All the above. So initially it was Floetry reunion and we were traveling separately. So I'm traveling with my road manager, a couple of band members, and Dez is driving the other team. So we're basically micromanaging 2 separate sections of the tour. So it's
Gotcha.
like a day-to-day management. So I'm meeting him under those circumstances. And it's like, what's up with him in a red hat? Then I seen him hoop in Virginia, and I feel like that's what sealed the deal.
Oh, he could hoop.
He looked like he could hoop a little bit.
Loving basketball.
No, I'm saying what it looked like to me back then. So I'm like, what if he's trash? Like, it's a bit of a turnoff. If you have no, like, not even a J or at least
no
look
jump
like
shot, no.
nothing, like it just looked awkward. I'm like, oh no. And he hoop. I feel like that was it. Like,
Did y'all play?
I don't even think we played. It was like there's a venue in Virginia, the Norva, and right up top they have like a full court up there, like a half court or something. So they were just, just playing around, shooting around after the show.
It's
playing
giving
the
me
piano.
love and basketball. Let's play for your heart. If I
Little
win.
little bit. And I was like, So by the end of the tour, we went together.
Okay.
So it took 3. Then we was in a relationship, a tour relationship. I thought it wasn't. Not saying it wasn't gonna last. I'd never done anything like that before. So I'm like, ooh, this is naughty. These are all the songs that I've created, and I'm making them a reality. This is nasty. I like it. So at the end of the tour, we get back to LA. I'm like, I'm going back to LA, you go back to LA. Not like you gonna call me. It's like one of those. Like, what's happening? Mm-hmm. I think we lived together a month after that. That's great. We are insane.
Now you have a
And you've
daughter.
been inseparable since then.
We're insane. Once it was it was it.
I love that.
Yeah. Wild. Wild.
It's like you
Wild
went back
ride.
memory lane.
Man, I really.
Look, she having flashbacks and stuff.
So yeah, it was a one night
there any-
stand. It's now lasted for 10 years. Okay. So
Okay, say less.
Hey man, what I gained from this interview is that Marsha, you cool.
He's super cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you ever think about like media? Because like I was telling our previous interview the same thing. Like you're actually really good.
oh, thank
Would you think consider doing like a
possibly?
media?
I
Like,
would
I think
love
maybe
it.
you
What
and
about
her
stand up?
Well, if you see, you need to see me live. You never been to one of my shows.
We gotta
Like,
go. We gotta
Yeah,
get there.
we gotta go to one of your
When
shows.
are you going on tour?
Because your
Trying to
personality
think, I
is
need-
not
Hold on,
what I got with the
we
music.
gotta figure out when
you
are you
never
going on
seen it.
tour?
Soon. No, like, oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
Say less.
It's stand-up comedy.
No
It's
pun intended.
music. It's sexy. It's all the things.
All the things,
It
man.
really is all the things.
Marsha Ambrosius right here on the BallerAlert Show. We appreciate you for coming through, man. Blessing us.
Yeah, y'all didn't even get to hear all the smack
tea.
talking she was talking
Bruh.
off
She's like,
camera.
oh, this is mid. Y'all okay? You want to heat it
It
up?
was okay. Till the next time.
Hey, man, before we get out of here, we got to hit you with a pep talk.
Hey, this is Marsha Ambrosius, and I've been sitting here with BallerAlert, balling, and my last words would be for anyone out there that needs to hear this. Do you. It sounds real simple, but in order for you to do you need to understand who it is that you are, okay? Look in the mirror and really figure out who that is. Be for serious. Take time to reflect. Just close your eyes even. Imagine who that is that you want to be. And you open them eyes, be that. Do you. Be you.